watching a video from Psycho Cruises All-in-One Sport Bike channel. Subscribe today.
I wanted to cover some of the myths out there on these 600cc super sports, or at least all I can do is I can speak from my experience from my 2008 Honda CBR 600 Dibble R. On this bike, the bottom end power is fantastic. I have no problems. I can throw it in 6th gear and I can power out of any situation on this bike. I've never felt that the low end power on this bike was lacking. That's another myth that is bullshit. Because there are riders out there in their 50s and 60s still riding super sport bikes. You know, it's all about your comfort level. You know, a lot of older riders have, some of them have back problems or other problems where they can't really, that they prefer a more upright seating position. So that's why they tend to gravitate to cruisers. But that's not everybody. Like I said, there's a lot of riders out there that are way up in age that are still riding these super sport bikes, and it's their prerogative, man. You know, it's all about your fitness level and your comfort level, and it doesn't matter what age you are. Any age you can get a super sport. I'm going to say that some of it is fact, but it depends on your comfort level. My comfort level, I feel very comfortable on this bike here, this 08 600RR. Very comfortable. I actually prefer the seating position on this bike as opposed to being in a more upright seating position. This bike feels more like you're on like a bicycle seating position. In my opinion, I like to be on alert. I love this position. It's excellent in the twisties. It keeps you on alert because you're crouched down. You know, it's not like you're sitting in a freaking easy chair, reared back watching TV or something, getting too comfortable. Like I said, it's not safe to get too comfortable out here on the streets. You want to ride semi-paranoid, like anything's gonna fucking happen at any time. You always got to be prepared and ready, you know. But that's just my thoughts. That's just my opinion on it. If you talk to other people, they're going to tell you something else. Like I said, it's all about the rider's comfort level, and I'm comfortable on this bike. If you take the bike to a mechanic to do all of your work, yes, it can become very expensive, and that goes for any motorcycle, period. Not just a super sport. So I wouldn't say it's just a super sport. The only thing that makes these bikes really more expensive to maintain is the changing out the rear tire on these bikes. Because they only last, I'd say, you're lucky to get, I don't know, you're lucky to get 5,000 miles. Anything over 5,000 miles, you're very lucky to get on this bike. Depends on how hard you ride it. If you're just cruising like I am right now, out here on the park roads, then you could probably get good life on your rear tire. But if you do the maintenance yourself on your bike, it's not going to be that expensive, really. The parts, especially if you get a Japanese motorcycle. Now, if you get a Ducati or a BMW, you know, a European bike, the parts are going to be more expensive and hard to come by. But if you do the work yourself, it's going to save you a whole lot of money. So I'd say that myth is kind of, it's true and it's false. Just depends on the type of bike you're riding and if you're doing the work yourself. That is 100%, actually I wouldn't say it's 100% bullshit, but it depends on how you ride. if you ride like some of these squids on YouTube that are doing mile-long wheelies and doing stoppies and trying to look cool and garner worldwide attention on their YouTube channel, then yeah, the shit is dangerous. Or if you're one of these dickheads that fly around corners like you're a MotoGP star trying to do elbow slides, yeah, it's gonna be fucking dangerous. You know, or if you're drag racing your friends, it's gonna be dangerous. But you know what? That goes for any motorcycle. You can be on a 250, and a 250 can be, any motorcycle can be dangerous. A fucking scooter can be dangerous. You know? The Chinese scooter I had topped out about 57 miles per hour. But if you're doing top speed on that bitch and you go down, you're gonna be in a world of fucking hurt if you don't have any gear on. So I wouldn't say that the Super Sport is any more dangerous than any other power sport, besides that it goes a little bit faster than a lot of the motorcycles. But like I said, that's the rider. That's not the fucking bike. So that's really, that's a myth. These bikes are no more dangerous than any other motorcycle. That is a fact. If you are under the age of 25 years old, or if you have a really bad record, that goes to say pretty much with any vehicle. If you have a bad driving record, you're going to have higher insurance rates. But particularly on these super sports, if you're under the age of 25, you're going to be paying out your ass for insurance. And it can be up to the thousands. But over the age of 25, if you're in your 30s like me, I only pay, especially here in Ohio, we can't ride year round, so our rates tend to be cheaper. But I paid like what, $336 for the whole year, and that's with a $100 deductible. Full coverage insurance. So that's what is really cool about being a little older and riding these bikes is that you'll save on insurance. You know, when I was a kid, when I was in my, teens and early 20s, man, I couldn't afford a Super Sport because the insurance was down in Florida. It was probably like $3,000 for 6 months of insurance on a Super Sport back then. So, I couldn't afford it, but there's a way around that. For those of you guys that are power savers and you have a lot of money saved up, in some jurisdictions, in some states, now this is not everywhere, you can designate a $10,000 bond before insurance, and you don't even have to get insurance from a company. You can be your own insurance with a $10,000 bond designated for insurance. Now that's in some areas. So that's a good way to get around paying those very expensive insurance rates. Cops love to see super sports because a lot of times they'll have squids on them doing 140 miles an hour. And that means a big payday for them if they can catch them and give them a ticket and usually impound their bike depending on the speed they're going. But yes, they do attract cops, but there's a way to curtail that. Put on one of those safety vests, like those high-vis safety vests, like I wear usually, not all the time, but I usually wear it. And I'll tell you, man, cops will see you on this safety vest and they'll be like, oh, that's a safety-conscious rider. I think I'll leave him alone. Honestly, whenever I wore the high-vis vest, cops they look at me and then they look away. They don't even pay attention. But when I don't wear that, and I'm like wearing like all black or something, my black gear, and they'll stare at me, they'll follow me. It's just, so I wear the safety vest just to keep the cops off my ass. So that's a fact. It depends on your comfort level. I'm 6'1", and I fit fine on this bike. But for those that are like really tall, like probably I'd say about 6'4" or taller, you may feel a bit cramped on a Super Sport. That is a fact. I'll tell you, I don't commute on this bike. Like, I will only ride this bike and then bring it home. I won't even stop in the store. I have stopped in the store here and there on occasion, but generally I try not to leave my bike unattended because these bikes get stolen like hotcakes, especially down in Florida, South Florida. Like I told you guys, there's a scam running down there off on Craigslist where they're putting trackers on super sports and selling them and then stealing them back. I tell you, if you live in Florida or California or anywhere really, your best bet, if you don't want your bike to get stolen, is to never leave it unattended. You know, if you live in an apartment, like I said in my one of my other moto vlogs, bring your motorcycle in your apartment. Do not leave it in the parking lot because, you know, not only has a high chance of getting stolen, but also being tampered with. So bring your motorcycle in your apartment. If your girl's giving you shit, or your wife, or husband, or whatever, boyfriend, tell them that your bike comes before them. And tell them you're bringing your motorcycle in your apartment. But yeah, these bikes do attract thieves, unfortunately. So don't leave your baby unattended. That's all I have for you guys. So until next time,
I'll catch you guys later. Deuces.
Hey guys, check out my new channel where I talk about anything and everything, not just motorcycle related. Psycho Cruiser Motovlogs.
And it's time for Psycho Cruiser's recommended videos.
Links are in the info section of this video. For those of you that are interested in an eBay aftermarket fairings kit for your bike, you might want to check out my Easy Moto Fairings unboxing video. Have you ever wondered how to do a coolant flush on your sport bike? Well, hey, check out my Honda CBR 600 R coolant flush how-to video. Which 600 bikes should you get? There's so many to choose from. Check out my pros and cons of all the 600s that are available right now and why I chose the CBR 600 R. So a car almost swiped you and you feel like you want to do some get back and beat that ass. But you know what? I got a better way for you guys. Forgiveness. Check out my Street Justice and Forgiveness moto vlog. Yeah. Show your motorcycle love and get sport bike graffiti apparel at psychocruiser.com. Hey, subscribe to my blog over at psychocruiser.com for tips and great deals. Also click like on my Facebook page for new updates, and that's facebook.com/psychocruiser1.